Hello class, let us study a new lesson from science, that is force and pressure. In this lesson you will be studying about the force and different types of force, pressure, atmospheric pressure and what happens when pressure is exerted on different states of matter. So let's study the lesson force and pressure. In class 7th, you have learned how objects move. Do you recall how we can decide whether an object is moving faster than the other? What does the distance moved by an object in unit time indicate? You also know that a moving object like a ball rolling on the ground slows down. Sometimes it may change its direction of motion. It is also possible that the ball may slow down and also change its direction. Have you ever wondered what makes an object slow down or go faster or change its direction of motion? So, all these are the experiences. For example, you can see in the figure here a boy is holding the ball. A ball comes to him, he holds the ball, so the moving ball stops. When you play hockey also, see the diagram here or the picture here. The boy is playing hockey. So he is pushing the ball, isn't it? Yes, he is exerting some force on the ball. So the movement of the ball is faster. So what is that which will change the direction of an object or moving object, or what makes the change in the direction of the motion of an object? Let us study. So, force, a push or a pull. Action like picking, opening, shutting, kicking, hitting, lifting, flicking, pushing, pulling are often used to describe certain tasks, isn't it? You push the ball, you shut the door, you kick the ball, you hit the door. Each of these actions usually results in some kind of change in the state of motion of an object. So when you do these actions like pushing or pulling or kicking or hitting or opening, so you change the state of motion of an object. So can you change these terms? Can the terms be replaced with one or more terms? Let us find out. Here, an activity is given in order to identify actions as push or pull. For example, moving a book placed on a table. So, what are the actions done when you move a book which is on the table? It is either pushing, pulling, and lifting it. So, action can be grouped as push and pull, isn't it? So, opening or shutting a door. So, what are the actions done here? You are pushing the door or pulling the door. So, again the same action, push and pull. Likewise, you have to fill the column here in the textbook itself. You have to do the activity in your textbook itself, children. Yes, in science, a push or a pull on an object is called as force. What is force? A push or pull on an object is said to be force. So we can say that motion imparted to objects was due to the action of a force. Whenever a moving object changes its direction, then it may be due to the force applied on the moving object, isn't it? So, force is push or pull on an object. Forces are due to an interaction. Suppose a man is standing behind a stationary car. Will the car move to his presence? No, isn't it? If he is not disturbing the car, if he is not pushing the car, then will the car move? No. Suppose the man now begins to push the car. That is, he applies force on the car. The car may begin to move in the direction of applied force, isn't it, children? When the force is applied in a particular direction, so towards the front side, the force is applied. So when he applies the force on the car will move slowly. The man has to push the car to make it move. You can observe 3 pictures here where force is applied from both the sides. Isn't it, children? You can't differentiate who is pulling and who is pushing. Isn't it? Yes, 2 girls are playing here. Both of them are fighting here maybe, or pulling something. The man is pulling a cow. The cow is also pulling him. Isn't it? So, can you decide who is pulling and who is pushing in these cases? Both the girls appear to push each other while the pair of the girls are trying to pull each other. Similarly, the cow and the man appear to pull each other. The girls in the 2 situations here are applying force on each other. It is true for the man also, where both of them are applying force on each other. From these 3 examples, we can infer that at least 2 objects are necessary in order to interact for a force, and interaction of an object with another results in a force between the 2 objects. Exploring forces. Here an example is given where a boy is trying to push a heavy object. So it is a big heavy box. When he is not able to push the box, he seeks the help of his friend. So both of them are trying to push the box in one direction. What may happen to the box? Of course, when more force is applied, the box will move apart, isn't it? So in the second picture here, what they are trying to do is both of them are standing in the opposite direction. One boy is trying to push from this side. The other boy is trying to push in the opposite side. What may happen to the box? Will the box move? No, it will not move, isn't it? So one more familiar game is tug of war. Here, in this game, 2 teams are there, and these teams pull at a rope in opposite directions. Members of both the teams try to pull the rope in their direction. Sometimes what may happen is the rope may not move at all. It is similar to this situation here in this figure where both the boys are trying to push the box in opposite direction. So, the team which applies larger force will finally win the game. Forces applied on an object in the same direction will add on to one another. When the force is applied in the same direction, will add on to one another, so the net force will be more. When 2 forces act in the opposite direction of an object, then the net force acting on them will be the difference between the 2 forces. Okay? So in the tug of war, when 2 teams pull equally hard, the rope does not move in any direction. So the net force will be nil there. Force could be larger or smaller than the other or equal to each other. The strength of a force is usually expressed by its magnitude. We have also to specify the direction in which a force acts. If the direction or the magnitude of the applied force changes, its effects also changes. So in this we studied about the force applied in the same direction will add on to one another, and what is the net force? The net force is the difference between the two forces. When the forces are acting on opposite to each other, then the net force is the difference between the two forces. Understood? One more thing is that what is magnitude or the strength of the force is usually expressed by its magnitude. A force can change the state of motion. Let us find out what happens when force acts on an object. Examples are given here where you have to take a rubber ball and place it on a concrete floor. So gently push the ball along the level surface of the floor. What may happen? The ball will move. Again, when the ball is still moving in the floor, you just push the ball again. So you can notice a speed in the movement of the ball. Next, what you have to do is when the ball is moving, you have to place your palm in front of the moving ball. Remove your palm as soon as the moving ball touches it. So what may happen? The speed of the ball may decrease, isn't it? So some other situations are given here. You might have seen a penalty kick in the football. While taking a penalty kick in the football, the player applies a force on the ball, isn't it? So before hitting the ball was at rest and its speed was absolutely zero. The applied force will make the ball move towards the goal. Suppose the goalkeeper dives or jumps up to save the goal. By his action, the goalkeeper tries to apply a force on the moving ball. The force applied by him can stop or deflect the ball to some other side, saving a goal being scored. So, if the goalkeeper succeeds in stopping the ball, its speed decreases to zero. So these observations suggest that force applied on an object may change the speed of the moving object. If the force applied on the object is in the direction of its motion, then the speed of the object increases. If the force applied is in the same direction of the motion of the object, then the speed of the object will increase. But if the force applied is in the opposite direction to the direction of motion of the object, then it results in the decrease in the speed of the object. So a force can change the state of motion of the object. Whether application of force can change the speed of an object. An example is given here. When you move the ball, you just push the ball in a plain ground and you have to keep a ruler on the way of the ball. What may happen? The ball may strike the ruler and it will change its direction, isn't it? Yes. One more example is in the volleyball. Players often push the moving ball to their teammates. Sometimes the ball is returned to the other side of the court by pushing or smashing it. In cricket also, batsman plays his shot by applying a force on the ball with a bat. So, there is change in direction of motion of the ball in these cases, in volleyball also or in cricket also, isn't it? When the force is applied on the moving object, it will change its direction also. The change in either the speed of an object or its direction of motion or both is described as change in its state of motion. Either it may be speed, change in the speed of the object, or change in the direction of motion, or both also is described as change in its state of motion. Thus, force will bring about changes in the state of motion of an object. Does it mean that the application of force would always result in change in the state of motion of the object? No. For example, if you want to push the wall, or if a heavy box is pushed and it may not move at all even after applying maximum force. So, no effect of force is observed when you try to push or pull a heavy object or a wall. So, we can say that the application of force always may not result in change in the state of motion of the object. Force can change the shape of an object. So, few examples are given here. A lump of dough on a plate is taken. So, what may happen? How to apply force? If you press it down with your hands, force is applied. So, what will happen to the dough? It will change its shape, isn't it? The next example is spring fixed to the seat of the bicycle. You have your bicycle. There is spring in the seat, isn't it? So, how to apply force? If you sit on the seat of the bicycle, then force is applied on the seat. So, what may happen? The result is it will change its shape. The next example is a rubber band is suspended from a hook or nail fixed on the wall. So, how to apply force on the rubber band? So, you can just pull it down by its free end, or you have to hang some weight on the rubber band. Then, force is applied. So, when the force is applied, what will happen? It will change its shape. The next example is a plastic or metal scale is placed between two bricks. How to change or how to apply force? We have to put a weight at the center of the scale. When weight is placed at the center of the metal scale, of course, you have applied force. So, what is the result then? The scale will change its shape. So, from these examples, we can conclude that when force is applied on objects, it will change its shape. So, now you have studied that when force is applied on any object, the following will go on. It will make an object move from rest. It will change the speed of the object if it is moving. The force may change the direction of motion of an object. The force will bring about a change in the shape of the object. These 4 points are important. So, one more thing we have to observe that force may cause one or more of these effects. But we have to remember that none of the action can take place without the action of force. An object cannot move by itself. It cannot change its speed by itself. It cannot change direction by itself, and it cannot change its shape by itself. Only when force is applied, all this will happen. It will change its speed, it will change its direction, or change its shape.